Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Royal Kennels YouTube channel. Me and my baby, we're back, and guess what, y'all? The wait is over. Part 2 to the story how we became Royal Kennels. It seems like it's been a long time since we shot part 1, huh?
Yeah, it has been.
I mean,
it's been a week.
I know, man.
But it seems longer.
Yeah, I think I was waiting probably just as long as y'all. Part 1, I think, was great, man. A lot of people showed a lot of love for part 1, man. We greatly appreciate it. So we're gonna dive right in. We got Greta May with us. Greta May's joining us for part 2, which is amazing. And the reason why we have Greta May right here, even though we passed Greta May's section, she's gonna always be with the Kennel man forever. She's the reason why it all started. So we got her picture, and we gonna get at it. So,
and
what?
And her ashes.
Well, that's her.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, we got her with us.
Okay. Well, in case people was wondering what was in this box.
Okay, yeah, all right. But she checked me. I said that she's with us, and that's her ashes. We had her ashes.
We had her cremated.
Yep, we had her cremated. We had her ashes delivered to us so she can be in our home and in our kennel forever.
Right.
So that's a major thing. So where we left off was we purchased Queen Fancy and King Flex, and we called it Royal Kennels. So we're gonna back up just a little bit because I don't want to dive right off into that. And we're gonna go from where we contacted the breeder and told him that we was ready for another dog. So when we contacted the breeder and told him that we was ready for another dog, I wanted a female off of Greta May's dad. As I told y'all in the story, Greta May's dad, in part 1 of the story, Greta May's dad was absolutely amazing. He was, without a doubt, the best American bully that I've seen at that point. And y'all, let's remember, I told y'all that when I first, after I found them and I started really looking into the American Bullies and stuff, I had seen the Carolina Bully Farms. And back then, I can only speak for back then, I can't speak for now, but back then, the Carolina Bully Farms had it going on. Mo Money was probably my favorite dog.
Yeah, that's a dog you constantly talked about.
Yeah, he was my favorite dog until I seen Joker. And I didn't get to see Mo Money in person, but I seen Joker in person. So let's imagine us being new to the bully world, pulling up into a yard, meeting the family. Now, we already seen, you know, I don't want to jump too far ahead of time or confuse y'all. We already seen him. But just from when we bought Greta, imagine walking into the yard, the very first American Bullies you see, and this dog is just amazing. Y'all, like our minds was blown.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, man, this is the most beautiful dog I've ever seen in my life. It was exactly what I wanted. This was the program that I knew I wanted to be a part of, you know, and let's take into consideration, I had no popularity, you know, I had no favor in the bully world. The bully world knew nothing about me, and I knew nothing about it. So when I seen it, I was like, yes, bam, this is it, this is amazing. I got Greta. Fast forward back to going back into their yard. So now, when we went into their yard, they had a fence, a wooden fence that was blocking their kennel. When we first got Greta, we never went behind that fence. We stayed in the front of that fence. They brought Joker out to us. So now, on the second go round, when we purchased Fancy, we went back inside the fence and we got to see the kennel.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't have a kennel set up. Our backyard was palm trees.
And lush green grass.
And pretty grass.
Which is what Mama likes.
Yep. We made a patio. We made that patio in the back. When we first got married and bought the house, we made that patio. So now this is our first time seeing a kennel setup. So we got a chance to see all the dogs in the kennels. And look, the kennel setup wasn't the best, but the dogs were amazing. They really were.
And you could tell they were well taken care of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, man, I called Norman the doctor. If you looked at my phone, although they were fallback bullies, when you looked at my phone, I had him as the doctor.
You did, Joe.
You know, straight up. He was the doctor of bullies. So we went back there, man. We looked and we were like, wow. We seen my girl. They brought Queen Fancy out. You know, she had a pretty little bow on her head. Man, we were psyched. And look, this honestly was a step up from Greta.
Yeah.
This purchase of Queen Fancy was gonna be Joker. It was Joker bred to Crescent City Bullies Rihanna. Crescent City Bullies was a very nice bully program out of New Orleans. Rihanna was a nice dog, and Joker to Rihanna, in my mind, was like, this is probably the best breeding going on in the world right now. That's how I felt, y'all. Real talk. Did I not?
Yeah, you did.
I'm giving it to you raw. That's how I thought. And you know what? In my mind, I was like, man, when I get this dog, she's going to be the best dog in the world. Straight up. And I'm going to take the bully world by storm.
That was his thinking, y'all.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Now, guess what? I wasn't thinking I was going to make a lot of money. Was I in my mind?
No, not at all.
Making money was the farthest thing from my mind at this point. Because you know why? I didn't know how big the bully community was.
Right.
I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have Instagram. I had none of that. So we get Fancy to the house. Remember, no kennels in the backyard. So now she's our house dog. And we got Fancy in here. Mm-hmm. We doing our thing with her. She's doing real good. We bringing her everywhere. We brought her to Walmart.
That was her first.
That was her first trip.
And a little carry-on bag.
Yep, and a carry-on bag.
With a little bow on top of it.
With a bow.
Stopping traffic everywhere.
Absolutely, man. People was like, oh my God, what is she? So we in Walmart. We let her pick out her own toys. You know the excitement whenever you get your first dog or your first puppy. It's like, oh my God, man, we got a puppy. We're going to bring her everywhere. We want everybody to see. I want to educate everybody about her. And I don't know nothing about the breed.
Nothing.
But I do know this. It's no longer bully pits to me.
Yeah. Now
I have an American Bully.
Yeah.
Now the paperwork was still American Pit Bull Terrier. But I knew I had American Bully because I educated myself from my first dog. Mm-hmm. So, guys, now you know all of what I went through with Greta, my past, everything. So when I lost Greta, I was almost like, man, karma, man. It's like everything's coming back to me. I don't think nothing is going to turn out good in my life. Right. That's how I was feeling. Mm-hmm. You know, I wasn't going to give up because if you truly know me, I had no quit. Nice. So I wasn't going to give up, but that's how I was feeling inside. I was like, man, I don't think anything ever is going to be good in my life. So I lost Greta. Fancy is in here. I mean, it's amazing. She's beautiful. She used to lay down in the kitchen on the floor and just spread out and just watch us do our thing. When she would sleep on her back, legs wide open. I mean, I used to love just looking at them, snapping pictures of her to do nothing with. Just sit in my phone. Well, guess what? Just when I thought I had it bad, I wake up the next morning and all over the room wall where she was at was full of diarrhea outside the kennel. she didn't use it in her kennel. She sprayed the wall and all on the floor on the outside the kennel of dark red water stool.
Crazy,
I was like, oh my God. When I walked in the door and I seen it, I was like, parvo. And listen, I haven't seen parvo for almost 20 years. Well, it's been, say, 15 years. But that's the first thing came to my head. And she had 2 sets of shots.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this can't be happening. I brought her in. I let her walk out. She looked different.
She was acting different.
Her gums was pale.
Yeah.
And she pooped right there.
Yep, right in front of the fireplace. I mean, a big pile, y'all.
Big pile.
So by this time, I'm freaking out. I'm like, man, look, we got this dog in the house, and she bringing poop everywhere, man. This is just, it was like, man, what in the world is going on here?
But guess what? Now, this is why I want y'all to pay attention to these stories and watch them to the end, y'all. Look, I look at all the analytics on these videos, and the video retention on the last story was like 6 minutes. I'm going to put in a lot of good nuggets inside these videos that I guarantee you don't want to miss. So, when I seen the parvo, I didn't call the breeder. I didn't call Jim with the Carolina Bully Farms. I didn't call who I thought was the best dog man that I knew. I called the vet immediately because I knew if I didn't get that dog to the vet immediately, she was going to die. I didn't have time to talk with the vet. I mean, I didn't have time to talk with the breeder for the breeder to tell me, you need to contact the vet. Or try to get in touch with somebody that I couldn't even get in touch with to buy a dog. I know how it is with answering the calls. I know how it is with answering texts. It's hard. You know, it's hard.
It's a lot.
It is a lot, man. I probably got 12 text messages on my phone right now that I wake up to. Missed calls. It's unbelievable. So I wasn't gonna call Jim or Cody with the Carolina Bully Farms because I couldn't even get in touch with him for the first time. I called the vet and I rushed her there. And if I wouldn't have rushed her, when I did, she would have died. They immediately put her on an IV. Immediately. As soon as we got there. There was no question. I told them what was going on. I said, it's an emergency. I don't care what you got to do. I just can't have her die. Straight up. Yes, sir, Mr. Hebert. They took her. They put her in the back. They put her on the IV. And I left. She stayed 24 hours.
24 hours, yep. They kept her. Said, we're going to run tests, figure out what's going on. And the best thing for you to do, Ms. Hebert, is just, to leave. Let us do our job. We'll keep you updated as far as any updates, but we know for now she needs to be in IV and she needs to stay overnight.
So that's what I let them do. So we got her. We went pick her up. She was moving around. Man, y'all, I was so excited. I was like, man, I thought for sure she was gonna die. I know how parvo is. I've seen it kill many puppies before, and I was like, man, this couldn't be happening. So now we got her. At home. I remember they gave us this certain canned food, and she was eating it. She was doing a thing, man. I was happy. Look, I didn't even want her to go outside, y'all. I didn't want her to go outside.
So backtrack a little bit. What did they tell you that she had?
She had parvo.
She had parvo, y'all. So it was. He knew off top that it was parvo.
Yep, she had parvo, and one of the rare cases that we beat it.
Yeah, we beat it. Yeah, thank God.
So now, guess what? My confidence level is, I'm a dog man. I knew I was a dog man. I always been a dog man. That's what I'm telling myself. I'm like, you don't know. I've been a dog man. imagine doing this. So, what is one of the first things everybody does? Did I say that right? One of the first things everybody does?
I guess that's right.
One of the first things everybody
Yeah.
does.
It would be plural. So yeah, it's everybody. So does.
Most people do.
Short English lesson.
So y'all know we from the body. We from the boot. We don't talk right. So we have our own language.
Not at all.
Yeah, and I make up words from here.
He has his own dictionary.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I make up words.
He does.
I do.
We'll share that with y'all.
Yeah, later. Okay. So, one of the most things everybody does.
Okay, keep it moving.
When they get a puppy, after a few weeks, that little new puppy thing wears down.
Mm-hmm.
What do you normally do? Wow, she needs a playmate. She needs a playmate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can she live in this house?
As if the huge amount of toys and everything we was showering her with was not enough. Like it just wasn't enough.
You needed me. Is that right? You needed me in your life.
No.
To complete it.
No, I didn't need you. You added to my life, but I didn't need you. And I wanted you in my life. That's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. That is the difference.
So, I said, you know what? We're going to get her a boyfriend. Flex. So,
Flex,
guess what? We had Fancy, who was Greta's dad's daughter. Mm-hmm. Flex, Greta's mama's son. So now we got 2 dogs, and they equal to my precious Greta. So we hit them up. Hey, I want a male. It's like, well, we got one available. Now I follow them, so I know what breeds they had going on, and I talk to them almost every day. I just didn't have the money. I'm trying to get the money. You heard me? I'm trying to get the money, and I'm gonna get the money, and I got it. So I hit them up, and I'm like, man, I need this male. So me, Mama, and Fancy is back on the road to the Royals. 3 weeks later, we go pick up Flex. Now y'all, Flex was a furball. He was different.
I mean, just different from the gate, y'all.
Look, his little legs was like that sharp.
Yeah, and thick.
Big old head, thick. Soft. I was like
a big baby, y'all. Just a big,
yo.
Yeah, big baby.
Amazing. I was in love. And look, in my mind now, I'm like, with him and her, oh my God.
The sky is the limit, huh?
Sky is the limit. So now I'm like, I need a website. I need Facebook. I need Instagram. I already had a couple videos on YouTube of Greta.
Yeah,
but I only had like 5 subscribers, and nobody, y'all wasn't watching my videos.
No, y'all wasn't, man.
I wasn't watching my videos, man. And I felt some type of way about it, but I ain't tripped. But y'all ain't watched my videos, man. Y'all go back and watch my videos. Just to make me feel good about it.
You just have to put in the work, y'all. We know it's a process. You got to put the work in.
5 subscribers. I think Greta May's video at the time had like 2 views. Mine and yours. No. I don't know. But maybe 19. Because I probably watched it 18 times. And she watched it 2.
Once.
So that's how we was coming, and I was really okay with that. So I didn't even know nothing about subscribers and all that. So I got these 2. They living in a back room. I got this food that I'm feeding them. The breeder told me the food that they was feeding. I got the food. I didn't have no other information about the dogs. You know, in that part, I was kind of on my own, figuring out, getting my feet wet.
Still doing research, trying
yeah,
to research
and you know, if I have to be honest, I kind of felt a certain type of way behind it because I couldn't really get the information that I needed. But now, today, I understand. Today, I understand. And if I wouldn't have did it on my own,
right.
I might not be in the position that I am in today.
Right.
That's one of those nuggets that I was talking about. You know, so they weren't giving me the game.
Right.
They was giving me the bare minimum, and they was giving me the history of their dogs, but I wasn't getting the game. You know, that I thought that I was gonna be able to get. I had to get that on my own. So I was like, man, so what can I do to make these dogs thick? I want them big. I want them to be like their dad. Like, I want them to be the best. So I found Dime. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
I thought I hit the
You
jackpot.
thought he hit it, yep.
I don't know. I seen some video.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a video of somebody giving their dog Dime, and I was like, the secret. That's the secret to success. So I didn't care what I seen. If I seen it, I was buying it. I went and got Dime. Used Dime. I think it just gave my dogs diarrhea. It gave him diarrhea. So now I'm like, dang. I think I wasn't given the right dosage, or the right amount, not dosage, but the right amount. I was overkilling it because I was trying to make them a McFlurry, basically. So they eat it. They was eating it. Well, guess what? I got treats. I got it's bacon.
Yeah.
I got all kinds of stuff, man. All they had to do is sit when I tell them to sit, and I'm giving them stuff. I got eggs. I'm putting eggs in their food. I'm putting dye, eggs, coconut oil, you name it. Well, guess what? They stopped eating.
And when I tell you they stopped, it's like the whole shebang came to a halt. We like, okay, what in the world is going on here? They didn't want to eat nothing.
So I was like, how am I going to take over the freaking bully world and my dogs aren't eating? What do? Get them ground meat. I start researching.
Yeah.
I found satin balls.
Satin balls, I remember, yeah.
Satin balls. Oh yeah, satin balls gonna get their mind right. So I'm giving them satin balls. They eating, but they not eating their dog food.
Right.
They're picking the meat out of the food. So I'm like, dang. Okay, I'm gonna buy a grinder. I'm gonna grind up the dog food, grind up the satin balls, and mix it all together. That worked. They did it for like 2 or 3 days. No more. Wanted something else. So I'm like, what else? You want to talk about it?
And just to kind of piggyback off what the last video was, I would tell him, you know, that we was raised on a farm and we had dogs. We had animals and we knew how picky they could be once you start messing with their diet, messing with what they're used to eating. They start to learn that they can get over you. You know, that's that dominance in those dogs that want to show you who's boss, you know. So they do that. So I was just kind of, I'm no expert, you know, like he said, I wasn't even, I was nowhere near the level he was, even as inexperienced as he was when it came to the bullies. But I knew a little bit to know that you don't go messing with, you know, a dog's diet. You got to be consistent in what you're giving them. And I didn't want to be the nagging wife, so to speak, but I was just trying to share a little bit of the knowledge that I had when it came to that area. So I was just telling them, baby, maybe you should just be consistent in what you're feeding them. Dogs know that once they can get over you and get you to buy this thing and that thing and this, they'll have you running crazy the rest of your life trying to figure out what to feed them. And he was like, no, babe, it gotta be something. It gotta be something I'm missing. It gotta be something I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, go ahead.
And I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I knew. But in my mind, I was like, I can't let him go through that stage because I can't take over the bully world if they don't look great.
Right.
So go.
And I knew that was the biggest thing in his mind. He just wanted them to be stocky and bulky the whole process through. But you have to realize dogs go through stages no matter what. They're going to go through them lanky stages, which at the time, like I said, we were still inexperienced, so he didn't know that part. We just saw bullies and like, man, they got to be bulky. But I would constantly tell him, babe, we have to be consistent in what we're feeding our animals. That's the only way we're going to get some consistency. You do it a couple of days. I've watched my dad do it time and time again. You keep putting the bowl out and put it down for them to eat. You give them a certain amount of time. You tell them, here's your food. They don't eat it. You pull the bowl back. And that way you're showing them who's boss. We did it for 3 days, 3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 days. And I'm telling y'all, within that time period, it was agonizing for him. But I knew it was the only way we was going to get consistent with what we're doing. That was probably like the only, only nugget that I had to offer at that time, but it worked. It worked, y'all, and he'll probably ride me with that for the rest of my life. That I made his dogs.
So I actually thought about the idea.
That his dogs didn't want to eat for 3 or 4 days, but once he realized, when I tell y'all, we was spending money here, throwing money there, going to this feed store, going to that feed store, trying this, trying that, and I was like, babe, you gotta realize what's going on here. Nothing is gonna work until we get consistent in what we're gonna feed our dogs. We gotta get a plan, stick to that plan, show the dogs who are boss, who's boss. At the same time, yes, you are our babies, but I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, the only options we had when we was growing up, and I'm from a family of 12.
Yeah.
The only options we had was you take it or you leave it. And sometimes I find myself as a mother and as a father, him as a father, that for our kids, even as spoiled as they are, sometimes the only options we give them is you take it or you leave it. And once they realize, if I throw a tantrum, it's not going to work, then they realize it starts to get up here, and they realize that, it doesn't matter what kind of temper tantrum I throw, mom and dad is not going to give in, as well as for our puppies. Mom and dad is not going to give in. So I better either eat this food or I'm going to go another day hungry. And y'all, the moral of the story was it works. It works. Be consistent, find what works for your dog, and stick with it. What works for somebody else may not work for you. You find what works for you, but I'm telling y'all, this little trick right here has been the kicker. And we went through it with every one of our dogs, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. They all went through that stage where they didn't want to eat what we was putting out. We let them go through the little phase, and we showed them, look, we're not giving in. And here we are today. We don't really have that problem, like talking about it now, because we're consistent.
We are very consistent with what we feed. I don't give all that extra stuff. I give them treats now because we got the organic treats.
Right.
From Family First American Bullies. But other than that, we didn't give them treats for years.
For years, yeah.
We shower them. Like, if they do good, I just give them love.
Yeah.
I give them a lot of attention. They're still spoiled.
Yeah, very much so.
They still have their way of getting away with things.
Right. And
they know I'm going to come running. So they still do that.
Yeah.
So moving forward onto the story, I've got Facebook. After this, I'm stacking the dogs up because I was watching videos on how to stack them. I didn't know what that was. I'm stacking the dogs, I got them right. They looking good. So now I'm ready to get this Facebook thing popping, Instagram. I'm ready to do it all. And I'm ready to build a kennel. Because I'm going to build a kennel. I'm going to put them outside. They're going to have fans, lights, water. They're going to have all this stuff. So we ended up going to Lowe's, and I built the kennel. I poured a concrete slab. I built the kennel, roof, all this stuff. Nice kennel for them. They were both in them until I was able to build the second one because I spent so much money on food.
He was training us, y'all.
So I had that, and I remember we was outside. It was 2013. we was outside, and Isaac was here. Remember? We was like, man, we
yeah.
gonna make me an Instagram.
Yeah,
So we chilling right there outside the door. I just finished. I'm looking at my beautiful kennel that I just built. It was time for an Instagram. We made it Royal Kennels 2013. And that's what it is still today. So we made the Instagram thing. So no friends, no followers, no nothing. I'm following. And I got a few followers.
That was his new girlfriend at the time. He had kind of just threw me to the wolves at that point. Yeah. He was always on his phone, you know.
So another thing, we had Facebook together at this point.
Yeah, we had Facebook together.
So I went onto my own
page. Yeah.
I went to Royal Kennels on Facebook. And remember, they made me change it because it wasn't a business account. So they made me go to my name. That's why it's still my name to this day. But I had a Royal Kennels Facebook and a Royal Kennels Instagram. And y'all, I ain't gonna lie, my mind was blown. I was like, how in the world they have this many bully breeders?
I know, it was insane.
And this many dogs in the world. Like, and I didn't even know about them. Yeah. Like, how? And look, it was nuts. So now, I'm like,
he learned quick.
Maybe I ain't gonna take over the bully world. So, just to jump a little bit ahead, she was 6 months old, Fancy. Flex was 5. So I seen all these dogs. So I'm like, I need to find another stud for Fancy. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reach out to a big time dog breeder, find a stud. And when she's of age, I'm going to breed her to him. I'm going to start saving my money. Now, just that quick, I looked at Facebook and Instagram, and my stud was no longer good enough.
Yep. Just that quick. Yeah.
Just that quick. So, I was like, man, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a power move. So now, she's in her first heat. So now I'm like really getting excited. I know it's coming. No. That's not true. Because she had her first heat late. It's like she had a silent heat. Because she didn't come into heat her first time till she was like 14 months old.
Yeah, 14 months old.
So now I'm starting to look around and I'm seeing big dogs. So she didn't come into heat. And I was panicking. I remember panicking about it.
You called them.
Yeah. So I'm calling them. I'm thinking that she wasn't going to be able to have puppies.
Yeah, he started tripping. It's like, man, I don't know if something not right with my dog. You know, she won't be able to have puppies. Yeah, I remember that.
So I freaked out. But I was like, all right, well, the vet, I'll bring it to the vet when the time comes. And we'll find out. So the window shopping for studs had began. Yeah. And y'all, when I tell y'all the reality check that I received, I contacted Bull Blood. I wanted to breed to Golden Goliath. Alright? So I hit him up and I was like, what is the stud fee on Golden Goliath? 10 grand. 10 grand was the stud fee of Golden Goliath. Now guess what? If I get a first pick female off the breeding, $5K and first pick. So I was like, dang, this is insane. 10 grand? I was like, I don't think I can afford that. But you know what? In my mind, I could. I wasn't going to tell him that. I was kidding. What are you saying about
nothing, darling. I'm just engaging our audience.
So, I was like, alright, I got a bad female, dog. I got a bad female.
No, I'm just reliving everything.
You're making me embarrassed. I'm sorry. So look, I got a bad female, dog. I'm finna send you a picture of my female, and we'll do the 5K and the first pick. I'm cool with that, if that's what I need. I sent him a picture. Guess what the response was? Not, you got a nice dog. Not, the response was 10K.
And that should be where the video is.
10K. So basically he said, your female sucks, dog.
Yeah, she ain't